Gambia has registered another 2 coronavirus cases on Wednesday, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 63 and 3 deaths since March 2017. One of the 2 cases is a male Gambian who evaded quarantine after returning from Senegal, only to surface at a health facility a couple of weeks later with symptoms similar to those of COVID-19. And the second one is a citizen from Norway who has been in quarantine since her arrival by an SN Brussels flight on July 3rd. Currently, the country has 5 recovered registered in the country, bringing the total number of active cases in the country to 28. Joining us on the line, okay. All right, we are supposed to have the Director of Health Promotion and Education, Mojun Jai, to brief us on those cases. But yeah, it seems like he's back to the line. Good morning, Mr. Jai.
Morning, but I'm hearing a lot of background behind. So I don't know whether you are hearing me because I'm also echoing. I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, we can manage with that. I can hear you.
Okay.
We understand that yesterday the country registered another 2 COVID-19 cases, bringing the total number of cases in the country to 63. What are the circumstances surrounding, and also we know that a patient also who evaded quarantine, was found in a health facility and then he tested positive of COVID-19. What are the circumstances surrounding the patient who evaded quarantine?
What I can say, let me just start with your first question. We said, yes, we have registered 63 confirmed cases for COVID-19 in the country. And since for 17th of March, now we have been registering cases time to time, but as of yesterday, we got about 63 confirmed cases. And one of the cases, that's the 62nd case, as you rightly mentioned, is a Gambian male, 60 years old, who evaded quarantine after returning from Senegal, and only to surface at SL District Hospital a couple of weeks later with symptoms similar to COVID-19. And he has been admitted at that hospital, and then a sample was collected on the 6th of July, and then results became positive on the 7th of July 2020. And the information I got about this case is that the person evaded quarantine, and then perhaps he's living in that area, and he crossed in, and then was supposed to report himself to the health authorities so that he can be quarantined. But unfortunately, this didn't happen, and then he has to find his way to home, and we don't know exactly. As of now, I don't know which of the villages the person comes from, but I'm going to get the information and then get back to you as and when the information is available. But I'm sure he reported himself to the health facility because I'm sure he must have realized some signs and symptoms similar to COVID-19. And as a result of that, he was sick, and then he reported to the health facility, and then he was admitted. And then sample was collected on the 6th of July, and then results became positive on the 7th of July. That's the information I know about this particular case at this point in time.
All right, very well. We also understand that there are at least 17 frontline health workers who have contacts with the person who contacted this coronavirus. Tell us more about that.
I know that anytime we have a case of COVID-19, we always make sure that we make a follow-up, and then our contact tracing team or the rapid response team will always embark on the contact tracing. And as a result of that, they were able to get anyone who is in contact with anyone who has been infected with the virus. And that contact tracing is ongoing. And anyone who has been traced is normally taken to quarantine. And then before they admit to quarantine, the samples are collected. And then they are admitted at the quarantine level. And then they'll also complete their mandatory quarantine of 14 days. Yeah, that's the way. And then in the process of testing, if anyone becomes positive, then they'll be taken to the treatment center. And if none, they'll also be there to complete the quarantine. And the end of quarantine also, they'll also be tested. And if they are also negative, then they are discharged to go home. And if they are positive, and then that person is taken to the treatment center.
All right. We also know that the borders are still shut. So how possible is it that a flight is coming into the country?
As you know, some of the flights are humanitarian flights, and some of the flights are also arranged that are coming into the country to collect, for example, nationals, for example, EU nationals, and so on. These have been arranged, and then some of these, there are arrangements that on humanitarian flights or flights that are coming to collect their natives, and as a result, the Gambians are also outside, and they have the right to be in their country. So if they come, and because then that they know exactly, but there are guidelines that states that anyone who travels from a hotspot country will be put on mandatory quarantine of 14 days, and they accepted that, and they have to buy their ticket to come, and because they want to come to that country, they have the right to be in that country. And when they're coming, they will be put on quarantine, which they have accepted, and then definitely we got the cooperation of all these people who travel into the country by air.
Yeah, we also know that.
Yeah, wait. I want to respond to your question. You said the borders are closed, that flights are still coming. Yes, flights are still coming, and then as you know, borders have not opened yet, but some of the flights are here on humanitarian grounds, and some are also here on the emergency to lift the nationals. So that's why we are here. But as you know, as I speak to you now, ECOWAS heads of state, ECOWAS is coming up with a communique that our borders will be open, airspace will also be open. So we're also waiting for those days to come.
Yeah, but some confirmed cases that we see in your report are actually foreign nationals coming into the country.
Yeah, because I don't know, the flights, either they are here for another purpose, or they are here for tourism, or they are here for family visit. As you know, like some of those people, perhaps they may have families here, they may have husbands, or they may have wives here, so we don't know, but we can still find out and then get back to you on that. But some of those visits, I cannot tell you, because the Norwegian national, we don't know exactly what is his motive of coming into the country. So these are some of the things we can always find out, and then I'm sure when we get the right information, we get it to you at the right time.
Very well. We are expecting that as soon as possible. And of course, we have two instances where people flee from quarantine, and others, of course, evade quarantine. Is the situation at the center still unbearable as reported initially?
Our quarantine facilities, I would say, I would not say they are the best in the whole world, but we definitely, our facilities are really suitable for people to be in quarantine. We provide accommodation, we provide meals, we also provide health care, including psychosocial support to anyone on quarantine. And then people really appreciate our quarantine facilities. You know that high-profile people have been on quarantine, and we've not got complaints from anyone, and I think they really appreciated being quarantined, because some of them are really law-abiding. And then they've really complied to the quarantine procedures. And then this is something that it has to happen. It's a public health measure. When people travel from a hotspot country in an emergency, they must have to become quarantined. And then in certain countries, the facilities we are providing, I think most countries are not providing those facilities. In some countries, people are on quarantine and they have to pay for their own quarantine bills, but here that's not the case for now. So I think the government needs to be commended for providing suitable accommodation and meals and healthcare services for people on quarantine in this country.
All right. Yesterday also we understand that there was a press conference held by frontline health workers, and of course placing some demands to the ministry. What is the ministry's position in this regarding the demands of these health workers?
As far as I'm concerned, I also heard about it, and then prior to their press briefing, I spoke to one of them who claims to be a task force member. They call themselves frontline task force members. And then I had a discussion with them, and the impression they gave me was like okay, they will not go ahead with the press briefing. But later we realized that after 4 o'clock, I was told that there was a press briefing. But the demands they are claiming, I think some of those things we have discussed this, and some of the staff that are also doing the press briefing, they are already staff of the Minister of Health. Some are also here to assist us during this emergency. I think we can always go into dialogue with them, and then we listen to them. It could have been also been nice if they also contact the ministry, like the Honorable Minister is really willing to listen to them, and the Permanent Secretary will be willing to listen to them, rather than organizing a press briefing. And I think these are some of the things it can be discussed before going to that level. So nonetheless, we will still continue the dialogue with them, and then hear from them, and then from there we can be able to see what is possible. But I know one of the demands, they are saying that today, if there is no response, they're going to, because I got the letter they sent. But interestingly, this letter that has been sent to the minister copied almost all the directors, which I got my copy yesterday. The letter was not signed, and then the people who are also behind this are not also, the lists are also not there, and the contacts are not there. So it has been difficult for me to be able to contact them and then organize a sort of a discussion with them, a sort of a dialogue, and to hear from them. Then I can be able to take that information to the ministry. But nonetheless, I will still continue to engage them, and then the people, I know one or two of them, and then try to talk to them so that we can be able to have a meeting perhaps today, and then hear from them.
Yeah, regarding the meeting, today is the ultimatum that they actually have regarding their demands. And of course, these are frontline health workers, and their role is very important in making sure that the pandemic, they contain it. And if their demands are met, what position do you think the government, especially the Ministry of Health, will take? Because it will have some circumstances or consequences on the side of the people if these health workers decided to actually to make a sit-down strike or any other issue.
I just want to remind them that in an emergency, as public health practitioners, we are not supposed to encourage strikes. We are not encouraged to lay down our tools. But if we have concerns and challenges, we can always face appropriate order. And the minister is not saying that he's not going to see them. They have not approached him. They've sent the letter to him, and then they could have, I think the ultimatum given, for me, it has been very short, because I got the letter yesterday, and I'm sure he must have also got his letter yesterday. So I think they could have just give us a period of, for example, 4 or 5 days, where the letter will be read, and we will discuss, we'll call them for a meeting. But interestingly, the letter that has been written is not been signed, and the people who are behind this are not listed there. It has been difficult to get in touch with them. And remember, these are family members. Why I say family members, these are all health workers. We are in the same family, we are in the same ministry. I think there is no barrier between them and the Permanent Secretary and the Honorable Minister. There's no barrier. I think they could have just gone, walk to the minister, and then he will listen to them. I am very sure, because similar group have done this. I think I would say the nurses, they approach him, and then definitely he listened to them, and then their plans have been addressed. So if the frontline workers again are also there, for me, I would want to advise them, like the task force would have just walked to the minister's office and have a discussion with them.
Okay, Mr. Yang, on the side of the people evading quarantine, and of course those who are fleeing, is there any penalty to be pressed among, against these people? And if there is any, what is the penalty?
I will not be able to tell you the penalty now, and I'm sure see where exactly, and so that we can be able to tell you what are the offenses and what are the possible penalties.
We also know that all the new cases that are coming into the countries are imported cases. What happened to your border?
Sorry.
Yeah,
can you repeat that one, please?
Yeah, I mean, we also know that all the new cases currently in the country are imported cases. What happened to your border management?
Okay, what we are doing, as you know, we have about 9 to 10 official points of entry, and then we have our staff there, and then they've been working. And recently, we have been worked very closely with the National Office for Migration to train up borderland communities, these are the village development committees, and then other community leaders in the community, and the including security and health workers. And the plan was like when they are trained, and they will develop community action plans. And these community action plans, it will be one of them will be now communities will set up community surveillance committees, and then some of those communities will also set up community vigilantes. These are mainly comprised of youths. And this has been seen in certain communities, and then we have been working with it. And recently, you must have seen it on the social media or on the newspaper news and so on. We have been able to reach out. The Risk Communication Committee Engagement Committee was able to reach out to 135 communities in the country from Lower River Region, Central River Region, Upper River Region, North Bank East and North Bank West. And then we still have that plan again to go around again to engage the communities, because what we have been doing is to raise the awareness of the public, for them to be aware of the dangers of allowing people to come into the country, because these people who are coming in, they don't know their health status, and then if they come in, and then during those discussions at the villages, the people really appreciated the vision, and then in fact, it has given them the courage to be able to set up structures within their community. And then as I speak to you now, most of those communities have set up community monitoring structures in those communities to be able to monitor the borderline communities.
Finally, before we take a leave of you, of course you keep saying that the borders are porous here and there, but what have you been doing to ignore the protocols and of course save the Gambia?
That's what I'm saying. I just concluded that discussion that we have been engaging the communities, the village heads, the village development committees, committee, youths and so on. This has been ongoing. That's the only thing, because I will give you one typical example. One of the communities is Sabi. Sabi is almost close to Senegal in the southern part, and then what they do, it has about 8 exit points to Senegal from Sabi. What the village development committee did was to set up community vigilantes, and these are youths, and they have been given motorcycle, and the village development committee support them to be able to monitor the borderline community. And when they see anyone coming in, they ask them to go back, or they report them to the nearest health authorities or police security authorities, and these people are taken to the next level. So this has been ongoing, and we have been engaging the communities to be able to strengthen community border surveillance, and then we are helping them now to develop community action plan, and key among them is the issue of the border surveillance.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Njai.
Thank you very much. Thank
you. That is Mr. Njai, Director of Health Promotion and Education at the Ministry of Health, giving us an update on the recent coronavirus cases and of course what the Ministry of Health have been doing to mitigate the risks of COVID-19. Dégg nañ ci kàddu am yu wax na lu bari foofu noonu coronavirus cases yi, and of course ñoo xam ne sax ñu ngi flee quarantine, and of course beneen bi tamit moo nekk ni nit ñi citizens yeneen tourists yu nekk di dugga ci dëkk bi te xamuñ te ñoom sax ñu ne dañoo def foofu noonu gestu ñu xoolaat because ñoom sax xamuñ loolu noonu ñooñu fan lañ nekk di jógee and all that. So ñoom sax leeraguñ de waaye they promise ne he promised to get back to us when they find a clear information as to the matter.
Yes, foog naa ne update bi am na solo moom Mr. Njai, because nekk na kenn ki nga xamante ne taxawaayam ràññee nañ ko ci xeex mbas mi. ñetti point rek laa bëgg a wax ndax li mu wax bari na. waaye first mooy about health front line health workers concerns yu ñu am. boobu benn la because it's worrisome. Again nekkul first time ñu ko gis muy xew ci jamono ji. ci yeneen réew yi gis nañ ñuy threaten pour sit down strike ay xawma lu xew. waaye foog naa ne ministre bi war na leen déglu nguur gi tamit war cee def taxawaay balaa ñu yegg ci beneen léegi because joxe nañu ultimatum tey waaye mun naa am bu ñu waxtaanee comme ni nga ko waxee mun nañ cee.
te mu ne loolu sa defal it foog naa démba la ko.
exactly
la ko jot so mu ne loolu
waaye mun of course góob ma ne ñu ko def dañoo jékki-jékki rek defee ko noonu. probably xëj na am na nu yàgg a wax xëj na nag binduñ bi yóbbu ko si ñoom waaye lu ci mënta xew situation bi nu moo demee nii Gambia kees yaa ngi yokk almost in daily basis. lu ñu war a def mooy waruñoo toll ci ay strike nañ waxtaan ñu fekk ñu mit seen demande yi.
mu ne dañoo dialogue
absolument loolu dafa very important. beneen bi mooy affaire border yi loolu wax nañ ko waxati ko moom li moo wax ni nguur gi ak ministre bi loolu moo yàgg nekk seen taxawaay lenn rek li nga xamante ne moom ñoom nangu nañ ko mooy borders are porous. te loolu buñ ko nangoo te lu leer mooy ne cases yu ñëw daa important cases. xëy na ñu ngi wax ne ñu ngi def effort waaye foog naa ne comme ni ma ko waxee the efforts are not enough as of now because loolu dañu war a control situation boobu pour mu leer foog naa ne points yooyu la bëggoon wax rek am na beneen bu ma ci bëggoon waaye kon waxtu bi baa ngee dem ma bàyyi mun ñam mun tam mu comment si rek ñu su ko defee ba next time insha allah
waaw comme ni ko Amadou waxee daanaka foofu laa bëggoon a ñëwee sax waaye waxtaan bu important ngeen seexee def ngeen ko yaak moom waaye comme ni mu ko waxee because duñ ñooñu waruñoo xaar sax ba ñooñu di war a dem di am lu leen naxari bay toogal because ñooñu la pesin si ñooñu leen yaakaar ba pare dañ jël xaalis bu bëri féetale ko ñooñu te yaakaar na si luñ gën a complet yëpp mooy affaire yi xaalis soo ana xaalis bu nga xam ne jox nañ ko Ministry of Health soo war nañ mën a génnee si xaalis boobu jox ko gars yi pour ñooñu tam mën a faj ci seen soxla gëm naa ne foofu la problème bi nekk Ministry of Health xaalis bu bëri mu ngi fa su fekkee nii seen luñ conscient bu nu am problème yi xaalis si la bokk coow boobu warta gudd kenn war a ko xam te bëgg nañ tam ñiy wax nit ñi tam ñaata nit moo wéer waaye all the time foo ñu kees tout ñu kees waaye duñu wax ñaata ñoo wéer ba ñibbi seen kër yi loolu sax foog naa dina bokk si waxtaan bi ak ñoom xëy na beneen yoon dinañ ko laaj ñaataay wéer ba ñibbi dañ ko dee bëgg di xam ba record case rek leen di am we have 2 new case we have 4 new cases but ñana wéer ba ñibbi loolu tam boole war nañ ko ci di boole xale askan bi tam di dal tuuti
all right am na